Yes, Anna. Karibala, Anna.
Teacher, I think government revenue is the total amount of money received by a government and local authorities from different sources in order to finance different sectors.
Okay. Thank you. So government revenue. We also have another term there to define, which is taxation. Who can help us define taxation? Yes, our default.
Yes, teacher. I'm going to define taxation. Then I also have a different definition for government revenue.
Go ahead, dear.
Okay, for taxation, it is the imposition of a compulsory contribution to the state revenue imposed by the government on workers in a country.
And then
Then, for government revenue, it is money received by the government from workers to enable it to undertake government expenditure.
okay, thank you. Yes, Chirabo, what do you have to say? Paul.
Teacher, I just wanted to define government revenue. I think I left my hand up.
Okay. Yes, Charity, what do you have to say?
Is it okay if you say that government revenue is the money got by the government from different sources to provide service people?
Okay, yeah, it is okay. Mirembe, what do you have to say?
Teacher, I wanted to ask Crown to repeat the definition of taxation.
Go ahead.
Teacher, I say taxation is the imposition of a compulsory contribution to the state revenue imposed by the government on workers.
Okay,
Please go slowly.
Okay. Taxation. Taxation is the imposition of a compulsory
Crown, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes,
taxation is the imposition of a compulsory contribution to the state revenue imposed by the government on workers. So let me repeat it one more time. Taxation is the imposition of a compulsory contribution to the state revenue imposed by the government on workers.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you have somebody reading for us from the introduction? Yes, Hope.
The introduction is, the government needs money to provide social and economic services for the well-being of its people. Taxes, being the major source of government revenue, have been covered in detail in this topic. When people pay taxes, the government is able to fulfill its obligations.
Yes. Do you know any of the government's obligations?
I think so. Like constructing roads for the country, service centers, like providing, improving service centers in areas of the country, I think.
Okay, thank you. So those are some of the obligations of the government, and that's why it goes ahead to look for the taxes in order to fulfill those obligations very well. So you go ahead, read ahead.
Okay, introduction to government revenue. Meaning of government revenue. This is the total amount of money received by a government and local authorities from different sources in order to finance different sectors. Users
Thank
or
you.
important.
You can stop there. Thank you. So they are saying it's the total amount of money received by the government and local authorities from different sources in order to finance the different sectors. Do you know those different sources? Who can share with us those different sources where the government gets its revenue? Yes, at Haire.
Some sources of government revenue is through taxes.
Good, taxes.
Taxes paid by.
Okay, Namagembe. Good day.
Teacher, I want to ask. Okay, tell me what you asked.
We are looking at the other different sources of government revenue, apart from taxation, though we have given taxation. So apart from taxation, do you know any other sources of government revenue? Good day.
Donation. Can I say one?
Donations, Appeal Grace.
Teacher, through loans.
Loans, the government borrows money. Okay. Isabel. Mirembe Emily.
Teacher, through grants.
Through grants. Okay. Adeke.
I think through court fines.
Through court fines, good. Cynthia.
I think through rent and rent.
Through rent and rates, good. Shirabopal.
Through proceeds from National Lottery. Like this is a revenue from sale of tickets issued by the National Lottery for financing a specific social project.
Okay, National Lotteries. Thank you. Who has not given the answer? Akisa.
Road and bridge tolls.
Okay, road and bridge tolls. Very good. Walakila. Warakira.
Through loans.
Queen.
Through loans from other countries.
Okay, through loans. Queen.
Fees like registration fees.
Fees like registration fees, good. Kunda.
Teacher, I'm just asking for you to repeat because I had gone off, so I have not got the sources.
Oh, somebody is going to repeat for us. Let us first summarize them. Nama Gembe.
Teacher, can the government also get revenue from tourism? Like foreign people come to tour in Uganda, so can they get money from tourism?
Yes, it's okay. At Haire, what do you have to say?
Oh, sorry, teacher, I left my hand up.
Yeah, those who have just forgotten their hands up, put your hands down. If you have just forgotten the hand up, put the hand down. Because you delay our lesson, I cannot continue when I'm seeing the hand up. Yes, Zubika.
Teacher, can I say through license fees?
Through license. Please don't forget the hand up. Cynthia?
Through privatization.
Through privatization, very good. Who can summarize for us all those sources? If you've been writing, read for us. Yes, Queen Victoria.
Taxation, donations, court fines, registration fees, tourism, loans, grants, rent and rates, license fees, and national lotteries.
Okay, thank you. Very good. Chirabo, hope you want to add on?
Yes, through earnings from government enterprises.
Okay.
That is privatization.
That is privatization. Okay. Now that we know the other sources and we know tax revenue from taxes, we are seeing the government getting a lot of money. But where does it use this money? Why is it getting all this money? So that takes us to the importance or uses of government revenue. So I want somebody to take us through the uses of government revenue. Okay, let us have Ndagano Queen taking us through. Ndagano.
Number one, providing and improving social services such as health, education, security, transport, and communication. This helps to improve people's welfare.
Very good. Do you understand that?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, go ahead to read paragraph number 1. Photograph number 1. When you read.
Teacher, photograph number 1 shows a poor state of health services which may be caused by government having less revenue. However, when people pay more taxes, government can be able to provide better health facilities and
Okay, thank you very much.
Services.
Photograph number 3. Can you have Charity reading for us? Charity?
Yes, teacher, but I can't see Vivian. Can you scroll? Photograph number 3 shows a poor state of the road, while number 4 shows a modern all-weather road which was constructed using government revenue.
Very good. We have an activity there as a good citizen. What lesson do you learn from the photograph 1 to 4 above? Who can answer that one? Lina. Lina. Tendo.
Teacher, I that in presence of enough to provide to people, because the road that has a poor state, I think it's in rural areas, and this is because people who live in rural areas, they don't have enough money, they don't earn a lot of money, which leads to low
which leads to the low rate of government revenue in rural areas. But people who live in cities, in most cases, they earn a lot of money and they pay their taxes monthly or yearly, something like that. So yeah, with presence of enough government revenue, the government can do a lot of things for its people.
Okay, thank you. That is her analysis. How can we hear also from Mirembe Emily? Mirembe, what do you have to say?
Teacher, me, I
Not you good. What do you have to say?
Teacher, yeah, as Kamali said that if the government has enough government revenue, it can improve on the services of people. Because if you look in picture number 1 and you compare it with picture number 2, you see the services have improved. In the same way, if you look in picture number 3 and you compare it with picture number 4, the services have improved. So if the government has enough government revenue, the services of the country will be improved.
Okay, thank you very much. So somebody to take us to number 2. Let us have Charity taking us to number 2. Charity. Okay, I think I've lost. Yes.
Teacher, I want to ask, after looking at the uses of government revenue, can you explain some sources of government revenue? People mention them, but I don't understand them. But I'll ask after we finish.
Like which one? Like which one? Okay. We can continue on number 2. Can you have somebody reading? Appeal Grace, read for us.
Facilitating public administration. For example, payment of salaries and wages to government employees, pension and gratuity to civil servants, office supplies, repairs, depreciation, fuel, travel abroad, and other allowances.
Okay. So I hope you understand that the government also has to pay salaries and wages to the government employees, and they get that money from the revenues and the taxes you pay. Number next, let us have Elsa Janet reading for us.
Promoting infrastructure development. The government uses the revenue collected to build industries, dams, schools, hospitals, roads, markets, piped water, among others.
Okay, go ahead and read even photograph number 5.
Photograph 5 shows a power dam, while 6 shows public street lights on the road, which are constructed and provided by government revenue.
Okay. Number 6. Number next. Let us have Chirabo Hope reading for us.
Helping in overcoming the effects of disasters. This is through extending humanitarian services to people that are affected by social, political instability and natural calamities. For example, landslides, floods, conflicts, droughts, epidemics, which require government intervention.
Okay, thank you very much. Can you go ahead to read photograph 7?
Yes. Photograph 7 and 8 show areas affected by landslides and floods respectively.
Okay, thank you. So let us have somebody else reading first. Let us have some. Hello, read for us next, please.
From the above photographs, when government has enough revenue, such affected areas can be financed. Point number 5, setting up development schemes to help the youth and needy people. This includes financing couples, school fees, loan schemes, benefit schemes, and others.
Okay. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, can we move on to Atkunda, read the next one.
Promoting modernization of agriculture in the country. This is through subsidized inputs, establishing demonstration farms, agricultural exhibitions, and agricultural research centers, among others.
Yes, so the government also uses its revenue to modernize our agriculture by doing all that to make sure that agriculture is modern. Moronji Crystal, can you read for us the next one?
Facilitating the repayment of government debt. Government revenue is used to pay back borrowed funds from both internal and external sources.
Okay, thank you. Is it clear to you?
Yes.
Okay, any other we are leaving behind? Anybody who would wish to add on? Madam Miriam, do you have something to add on?
That is all. That is all we have.
Namagembe, do you have something to add on? Okay.
No, teacher, I'm done.
Madam Rose, we don't have unless the students have questions. As far as those things are concerned.
Maybe I want to add on the reasons why the government goes ahead to tax people. Oh, we shall have them later. Okay. Let's go to the next thing. Sources of government revenue, we have discussed it. We have both non-tax sources and tax sources. So we have discussed some. Let us have somebody reading for us tax sources. From there, let us have somebody reading. Mwanguzi, read for us. Nakalima, read next. Mwanguzi, are you there? Mwanguzi, your network is not clear. Can we have Nakalema?
Tax sources. Chair, can you hear me?
Yes, very clear.
Tax sources A tax is a compulsory monetary payment charged by the government on individuals or companies to help it finance its expenditure. It is not charged in return of any specific service rendered by the government to the taxpayer. Should I continue?
Specific service. Yes, continue.
Taxes are the most important source of government revenue. Some of the taxes levied include income tax, value-added tax, or in brackets VAT, customs duty, and excise duty.
Can you explain those taxes? Can you all explain those taxes? If you can define one, you tell us.
No, we can't.
Who can define one? Income tax, who can define income tax?
Which I have an idea.
Ameka, can you explain?
Income tax is the tax charged on people's income.
Very good. Then value added. Namara.
Teacher, value added tax is like the tax added to a good or an item to be sold. It's that tax which on the item to be sold in like a shop or yeah, like that.
Okay, thank you. But I want you to research more about value added tax. Then customs duty, would like to answer customs duty. Divine Grace.
Customs duty is the tax charged on imported goods, like imported goods from outside the country.
Very good. Then excise duty.
It's the one charged.
I think excise duty.
The country.
Pardon, Grace.
It's the tax charged on goods made within a country.
Yes, so excise duty is charged on locally produced goods. So those are the different types of taxes that they incur, among others. Then we go to. Yes, you are excused.
Teacher, when I researched about value-added tax, say that it's the tax on the amount by which the value of an article has been increased at each stage of its production or distribution.
Yes, very good. Thank you. So value-added tax is charged on each stage of distribution or on each stage where value is added. Like the wholesaler will increase, then the retailer, up to when they sell the goods to the final consumer. So as they distribute, they increase the price. We call that one value-added tax.
Excuse me, teacher.
You are excused.
Teacher, this tax of pay as you earn, is it charged on only people or like company or on a specific person?
It is on people, pay as you earn. It is under income taxes.
Okay, teacher.
Okay, you're welcome.
Excuse me, teacher.
You're excused.
I've not yet understood what we mean by value-added tax.
Okay, we are going to explain more. Yes, Tendo.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, you are excused. Miss Chin, can you add on value added? Miss Chin, are you there?
Yes, yes, I am.
Value added, can you add on something?
Value added tax is actually that tax that is charged on every value that is added on a particular commodity. It is the tax that is charged on the amount of money that is added on a particular item. So if someone buys an item at 1,000 and sells at 1,500, so the value added there is 500. So the value added 500. So the tax will be on that value that has been added on that particular item.
Okay. And if that's right, let them write and say it is a tax levied on value added. It is a tax levied on every value added at every stage in the chain of distribution or production of goods or services.
Teacher, can you please repeat the definition?
Is tax levied on value added at every stage in the chain of production or distribution of goods or services. So that's the definition.
Could you repeat one last time?
It is tax levied on value added at every stage in the chain of production or distribution of goods or services. I hope it is clear.
Yes, teacher. Thank you, teacher.
Yeah, and to pay at the time of purchasing the commodity. Okay, let's continue. Now we have non-tax sources. Let us have who reading. Let me see. Lina, are you ready to read?
I have a question.
Yes.
What does levied mean?
Levy is charged.
To impose, to fix.
Alexa, can you read?
Excuse me, teacher.
You are excused.
Teacher, the value added tax, does it depend on money? Does it depend charge added onto the item?
Does it depend on?
Does a specific person item was at 1,000 and you're going to sell it at 1,500? Do they say that maybe the tax is going to be 20% since it's just 500, or there are maybe like let's say like the profit they've added is 500. So are they going to take the whole 500 or the 20% or a certain percentage of that 500?
They set a certain percentage for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Now we are going to non-tax sources. Queen Victoria, can you read for us?
Non-tax sources. Non-tax revenue is the income earned by the government from sources other than taxes. These include, Vivian, could you please scroll? Fees. This is payment to government for services offered to people, from example, court fees, registration fees, passport fees, and licensing fees. Fines and penalties. These are charges imposed on offenders of state laws as a punishment for having gone against the law, for example, police traffic fines.
Go ahead.
Photographs 9 and 10 show traffic police arresting offenders. These may pay fines.
Continue.
With the use of fines and penalties from offenders, government can generate revenue to finance her expenditures. Gifts and donations. These are voluntary contributions made by individuals and organizations to the government. Borrowing. This refers to loans obtained by the government from within or outside the country. Earnings from government enterprises. These are profits earned by the government from the sale of goods and provision of services. Proceeds from national lottery. This is revenue from sale of tickets issued by the National Lottery for financing a specific social project. Rent and rate. This is money charged by government on buildings or premises leased by individuals or organizations.
Okay. Number 8.
Road and bridge toll. These refer to revenue collected from users of roads and bridges to enable government maintain these facilities.
Photograph.
Photograph 11 shows a road toll on Entebbe Express Highway.
From
the above photograph, government can generate revenue from the road tolls, for example, Southern Bypass and Entebbe Highway.
Okay. Since we cannot now visit the communities, find out the social and economic services the government has been able to provide to the community members. Do you know any? Do you know any social and economic services that the government is providing to community members? Pearl.
Teacher, health services, like the government has built some hospitals where people go for treatment when they are sick.
Okay. Ndagano Queen.
Yeah, education services, like since the government has been building schools and also transport services, since the government has been building roads and highway.
Okay, thank you. Namagembo.
Teacher, also water services, it has provided water to the people, and also electricity services to provide electricity.
Good, Nachi, good there.
Teacher, transport services, yeah, the government has constructed more roads.
Excuse me, teacher?
Yes.
How about if we say the government has built areas for where people can sell their produce?
Market services, yes, it's okay. At Kunda.
Teacher, I'm just asking, how are we supposed to differentiate between like the social ones and the economic ones? Like in the ones that people have mentioned, which ones are social and which ones are economic?
Who can answer?
Teacher, can I answer her?
Yes.
If we talk about economic, an activity that will bring money if you do it. Then if you talk about social, something that will bring people together. Yeah, I think that can help.
Okay, thank you very much.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, go ahead.
Teacher, on road tolls, do they charge like anyone who like drives on the road money?
Every car that bypass there.
Okay.
Yes, Charity, Shalom. Chirabo. Did you forget your hand up? Chiralo Hope. So
I
now
think social. I did. Yes, please. Social services can mean services that improve people's way of life, and economic services. These can be the services that enable people to earn income.
Very good, thank you.
Excuse me,
what do you have to say?
Okay, I wanted to ask you something can be both economic and social.
Like which one?
This case of this exercise. Okay, like some hospitals are both social and economic.
How? How are they economical? They charge money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so when you talk about economical, does that mean it has to benefit only the government, or economical means it can benefit other people too? I can't hear you.
Okay. What if your hand is still up? What do you have to ask again?
Which I was asking if economical is only for the government or it can also be benefiting people. When you talk about economic.
Once they benefit people, in another way, the government will also benefit. Economic, the people actually benefiting. Or maybe
Yes, Charity.
Teacher, I want to ask, when Vanessa asked that, how do we differentiate the social and economic services, and what did you talk about that? I
The
don't get it.
economical, you said they are helping people to earn money. Like when they finance these social groups like the circles, those are economical. But when they build hospitals, that is social. Namagembe.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
So teacher, what you're meaning is that like the marketing services, those are economical, and the electricity services, those are social. I mean social.
Yes.
So, oh, okay.
Miss
Teacher,
King.
could you give me examples of economic?
Economic, we have financing circles, providing markets for where the people they can sell their goods from, among others.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Charity. Okay, Miss Change.
Yes, Madam Rose.
Yes, can you talk about the test, and now that we have completed the book, you can brief these girls briefly.
Okay, thank you for attending the lesson. Thank you for being a very good class. Thank you for being very attentive, and you have been participating. Now we have come to an end, to the end of our book. We have completed, but still after the exams, we shall come back and learn, and our next topic will be the forms of business units, the forms of business organizations or business ownership. Is actually a very big topic. That is what we shall begin with. Our test will be composed of objectives. It will be objectives. Yeah, it will be objectives. You have, the test will be for just 1 hour. For just 1 hour. You are required to read each and everything which you have covered. Read everything, revise everything, and The test will not be so hard. It will not be hard. It will be composed of just the objective questions. You will be required to tick the correct answer. You are given the options and you tick the correct answer. A, B, C, D, like that. As simple as that.
Yes. Let us have your questions. Appear first.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay, Chirabo, Hope.
Objectives of all the subjects, of all the topics we have covered.
Yes. Online.
Wait, what does that objective mean?
Like Pinky Ponke, they give you the question and the answers, and then you choose the best answer.
Okay.
Okay, Namagenda, what is your question?
Teacher, on which day are the tests? Because we have the whole week. So which day is going to be entrepreneurship?
You haven't received the timetable?
Oh,
No.
No.
They are sending the timetable soon on your
We
platform.
received them.
Okay. So now you know that day?
Platform.
Can you tell them that day?
We are doing them from 6th up to 10th of September.
Okay, so they will look at the timetable. Any other question? Chirabo, Namagembe, Ayebale, Primrose. If you don't have a question, you put down your hand. If you have a question, you ask.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, Ayebale.
Where does pay as you earn tax fall under?
Pay as you earn is under, is it under income tax? It is income tax.
What is income tax?
Income tax is charged on people's income. Yes, Charity,
thank
Shalom.
I want to confirm whether the test is going to be on everything that you've been learning online or everything that you have learned so far.
So far, the things we have learned online so far.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Jemima?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
The previous phone I was using, it got spoiled, so the work that I had, I can't use the phone since it got spoiled and I don't have the work. So what can I do?
Maybe Vivian can help and send a soft copy to you. Vivian.
Can you please give me your email and I'll send it on your email? I'll send a prototype.
So for those people who would like to have, you can give your email addresses to Vivian and she sends you the soft copy.
Teacher, I think Vivian should just send her email address.
I have sent a prototype to software to so far one person. So you just send me your email and I'll send a soft copy.
Ashley, what is your question?
We write it in the in the comments that
in the chat. I will
Vivian, you can send your email in the comments. Shalom and Ashley, what do you have to say?
Teacher, I was asking, when are they going to put out the timetable for the examinations next week?
Your friends are saying the timetable is out. Maybe they will resend the timetable to you. We are going to tell them to resend. Jemima, you are the last one. Jemima, you just forgot the hand up. Okay, Miss Chin.
Short, next topic.
Our time is over.
Our next topic is what?
Forms of business units or ownership. Forms
Okay,
of
nice.
Yes.
Our time is up. Nice time. Read.
Thank you for the
Bye.
lesson.
Bye,
Wish you
Mister.
Thank
We
you for
enjoyed the
teaching.
lesson.
Excuse me,
Bye,
teacher.
teacher.
Thank you for the
For the
lesson.
Thank you for the lesson. Bye.
Bye. Yes, please.
Bye.